The story begins with an elderly woman named Kiko, who is out early in the morning checking her mailbox. As she slowly walks back toward her house, we can tell she's struggling. She has back pain, and even simple movements seem difficult for her. But just as she's about to step inside, something unusual happens. A suitcase rolls up behind her on its own and suddenly opens. Out pops a large, soft-looking robot, Baymax. Right away, Baymax calmly introduces himself as her personal healthcare companion. Kiko is completely confused and a little annoyed. She insists that she's perfectly fine and doesn't need any help, but Baymax gently explains that he can help relieve her pain if she follows his guidance. According to him, she needs daily exercise, proper movement, and most importantly, swimming. Using his GPS, he immediately starts scanning for a nearby swimming location and points out a place where she should begin. Kiko, however, is not impressed. In fact, she's already overwhelmed. She quickly goes inside her house and shuts the door, hoping to get rid of him. When she peeks out the window, she sees Baymax calmly fold himself back into the suitcase and leave, as if nothing happened. But the next morning, things take a strange turn. As Kiko steps outside, her foot suddenly lands in a bathtub placed right in front of her house. And of course, Baymax is behind it. He's now trying to help her overcome her fear of water by slowly exposing her to it. Every time she gets closer to water, Baymax rewards her with a piece of chocolate candy. It's like he's training her step by step. No matter what she does, cooking, walking, or just minding her own business, Baymax shows up, splashes water on her, and hands her a reward like it's all part of a plan. At this point, Kiko has had enough. Determined to figure out where this robot even came from, she decides to follow him. She secretly trails behind Baymax and eventually ends up at a park. There, she sees him doing the same thing with others, helping people and even animals with health advice. Still curious, she keeps following him until they reach a quiet, almost empty alley where there's a swimming pool. Water omplauk, Baymax stops and reveals that he knew all along she was following him. He gently tells her that the only way to overcome her fear is to face it, to swim. That's when Kiko finally opens up. She explains that she's not afraid of water itself. She's afraid of this place. She shows him a photo of her husband and reveals a painful memory. Years ago, her husband was swimming here, and one day he went underwater and never came back. Since that day, she's avoided swimming completely. Hearing this, Baymax responds with quiet understanding. He tells her that what happened was not her fault and that she deserves to enjoy life again. He encourages her to let go of the pain and start living fully once more. Those words hit her deeply. For the first time in a long while, Kiko smiles. She realizes that maybe it's time to move forward, to stop holding on to the past. So she makes a decision. She comes back wearing a swimsuit, ready to face her fear, and standing beside her, Baymax is also wearing a swimsuit in his own adorable way. Together they step closer to the pool, preparing to enter the water. Next we meet Hero's aunt Cass, who runs a cozy little cafe. She's the kind of person everyone instantly loves, warm, friendly, and always smiling. Cass knows all her customers personally, what they like to eat, how they take their coffee, and she makes sure everyone feels welcome. She compliments people, chats with them, and creates such a positive vibe that customers genuinely trust her and keep coming back. But one day, while working, Cass suddenly hurts herself. She twists her ankle, and even though she tries to hide it, she lets out a small cry of pain. And of course, that's all it takes. Baymax immediately shows up. Seeing him, Cass gets a little uneasy. Baymax calmly tells her that he can help treat her injury, but she quickly brushes it off, insisting she's fine. However, Baymax points out that he clearly detected a pain response. She did cry out. Before she can escape, Baymax scans her and confirms that she has a sprained ankle. Without wasting time, he takes her home and begins treating her injury properly. After helping her, he gently insists that she needs rest and that he will take care of the cafe in the meantime. Now this makes Cass nervous. Her cafe means everything to her, and her customers are incredibly important. She tells Baymax to take good care of them, but deep down she doesn't fully trust him. So just to be safe, she straps a tiny camera onto her pet cat and sends it to secretly follow Baymax. But even that isn't enough for her. Still worried, Cass sneaks back to the cafe herself and hides nearby, keeping an eye on everything Baymax is doing. She secretly tries to manage things from behind the scenes, but every single time, Baymax catches her and sends her right back home to rest. Finally, one day, Cass confronts him. She tells Baymax that he's not running the cafe properly and that she needs to take over again. But Baymax calmly suggests something unexpected. If she truly doesn't trust him, then maybe she should just close the cafe for a few days and focus on healing. After thinking about it, Cass actually agrees and temporarily shuts down the cafe. Later, when she checks the camera footage from her cat, she sees something surprising. Some of her regular customers had noticed the camera and realized it was Cass's cat. And in the recording, they speak directly to her, telling her not to worry. They say Baymax has been doing an amazing job running the cafe, taking care of everything perfectly, and that she should only return once she's fully healed. Hearing this, Cass is genuinely touched, She finally realizes that even in her absence, everything was handled with care, and that Baymax didn't just do a good job, he did it her way. For the first time, she truly trusts him, and with a smile, she hugs Baymax, grateful, relieved, and finally ready to rest. A few days later, we see Baymax at a school, helping a teacher manage her classroom and assist the kids with their lessons. He calmly supports the class, making sure everything runs smoothly. But soon it's break time, and all the students rush outside, leaving the classroom empty, except for two kids, Sophia and Ali. While they're talking, they notice a couple of small robots playing nearby. Sophia immediately reacts. She says she absolutely hates robots. Then she walks into the restroom, but suddenly she starts feeling uncomfortable. Her stomach begins to hurt, and she lets out a small cry of pain. That's all it takes for Baymax to show up. He rushes in and gently tells Sophia that he is her personal healthcare companion and is there to help her. Sophia, feeling awkward and embarrassed, quickly tries to brush him off, saying she's fine and doesn't need any help. But Baymax scans her and calmly explains that she's experiencing abdominal discomfort. Reluctantly, Sophia admits the truth. She's dealing with a girl's problem, and that's why she's in pain. Without hesitation, Baymax leaves and heads straight to a pharmacy. There, he starts asking people what he should use to help with this situation. One girl suggests tampons, saying that's what she prefers. Another recommends sanitary pads, saying they're more comfortable. Soon, more people join in, each giving their own advice and suggestions. Before long, Baymax ends up with a variety of sanitary products, thanks to everyone's input. He returns to the school and gives Sophia what she needs. This simple act makes a big difference. Sophia immediately feels more comfortable and relieved. She thanks Baymax for helping her when she needed it most. Just then, Ollie shows up again and reminds her that their school talent show is about to start, and they're supposed to perform together. Sophia gets frustrated. She explains that she's not feeling well and can't possibly participate in any activity right now. Ollie keeps requesting her, trying to convince her, but she refuses. That's when Baymax steps in again. He calmly explains that light physical activity can actually help reduce her discomfort and make her feel better. After hearing this, Sophia starts to reconsider. Finally, she agrees. She goes back to Ali, says yes to participating, and the two of them team up as partners. Soon after, they step onto the stage and begin their performance, proving that sometimes the right support at the right moment can make all the difference. Next, we meet a truck driver named Mida, who makes a living exporting fish. Early one morning, he arrives at the market, setting up his stall and chatting with a nearby vendor. Everything seems routine, until his friend Yonkio walks up and calls out to him. Yonkio asks how Mabida's business is going. Mabida admits that things haven't been great lately, but he still enjoys what he does. He's proud of his work, even if it's not making him a lot of money. Hearing this, Yonkio gives him some advice. He suggests that Mida should expand his business, maybe start exporting vegetables along with fish. He even offers to supply him with apples if he wants to get into fruit as well. But Mida smiles and politely declines. He says he's happy sticking with fish. It's what he knows, and he doesn't want to change. With that, Yonkio heads off to continue his own work. Mabida returns to his van, turns on his favorite music, and starts cooking. After preparing his food, he invites customers over and begins serving them fresh fish soup. The atmosphere feels warm and lively until a young man approaches him holding a baby. The man asks if Mabida has anything suitable for the baby to eat. Mabida apologizes and explains that he only serves fish dishes, but then he points the man toward Yonkio's stall nearby, mentioning that his friend makes great apple-based food that would be perfect for the child. But just as they're talking, Mabida accidentally touches a pot of hot soup, but he instantly cries out in pain, and just like always, Baymax appears. Baymax calmly tells him that he is his personal healthcare companion and that he detected his pain when his hand got burned. Mabida quickly tries to brush him off, insisting he's fine, but Baymax scans him anyway and confirms that his hand is burned and swollen. Then he adds something unexpected. Mabida has developed a fish allergy. Mabida laughs it off. He tells Baymax that there's no way that's true. He's been working with fish his entire life, but Baymax explains that allergies can develop at any time, even later in life, and advises him to remove all fish from his surroundings immediately. Just then, more customers start approaching the stall. Mabida tries to get Baymax to leave, worried he'll scare people away, but Baymax refuses to go, and because of that, the customers get uncomfortable and start leaving. Now Mida is frustrated, but he's also in pain, so he can't do much about it. Baymax then steps into the stall and begins removing all the fish. When he tries to give Mida an injection for treatment, Mida sees his chance. He pushes Baymax aside, jumps into his van and drives off, but Baymax isn't giving up. He follows Mida through the streets and soon it turns into a chaotic chase. Mida speeds up, trying to escape, causing confusion and panic on the road. But eventually, Baymax catches up to him. Realizing he can't escape, Mida finally gives in. Later, the two sit together, and Mida opens up. He explains that his entire family was involved in the fish business. After his parents passed away, he continued the work to honor them. Baymax listens carefully, and then gently explains the reality. If Mida continues working with fish, his allergy could put his life at serious risk. This time, Mida understands. He decides to make a change. The next day, he returns to the market, but instead of fish, he starts exploring fruits and vegetables, trying to figure out a new direction for his business. That's when he meets Yankio again, but in this time, things are different. Mida realizes that his friend can help him start fresh, so he begins a new journey, starting a fruit export business. And not just that, he also plans to spend more time enjoying life, even making plans to hang out with his friend outside of work. Sometimes, letting go of the past isn't easy, but it can lead to something better. In the next episode, we see a small cat peacefully sleeping in a park. Everything seems calm, until suddenly, the cat catches the smell of something delicious. Curious and hungry, it follows the scent and soon discovers a man sitting nearby, enjoying his meal. The man is completely distracted. He's listening to music through his earbuds and eating without paying attention to anything around him. Seizing the perfect opportunity, the cat quietly sneaks closer and in one quick move, steals the food. Before the man even realizes what happened, the cat has already run off with its prize. But as it keeps walking, something strange starts happening. The cat begins to hiccup, and just like always, Baymax appears. Baymax calmly approaches and introduces himself as the cat's personal healthcare companion. Of course, the cat has no idea what's going on, but Baymax doesn't hesitate. He scans the cat and quickly identifies the problem. According to him, there's an electronic earbud stuck in the cat's throat. It turns out, while stealing the food, the cat accidentally swallowed one of the man's earbuds along with it. When Baymax tries to help and move closer to remove the earbud, the cat panics. It gets scared, lashes out at him, and runs away. Baymax immediately follows, determined to help. The chase leads them into a quiet alley, where Baymax manages to find the cat again, but it escapes once more, jumping toward a nearby building window. From there, the cat spots something inside the house. A different cat happily playing with a toy mouse. Watching this, the cat suddenly feels sad. For a moment, it forgets everything else. It just wants something simple like that toy. But then the music from the swallowed earbud suddenly starts playing again. The sound gives away its location, bringing Baymax right back. Startled, the cat runs again and eventually ends up in a dark basement. Baymax follows it inside, scanning the area despite the darkness. After a bit of searching, he finally locates the cat hiding nearby. What follows is a chaotic chase in the shadows, but eventually, Baymax manages to catch it. This time, instead of forcing anything, he gently pets the cat, calming it down. And in that moment, the earbud stuck in its throat finally comes out. The cat is relieved. It can breathe properly again. The problem is solved, but at the same time, something else goes wrong. Baymax's battery starts running out. His movements slow down, and then he collapses onto the ground, unable to function properly. And just like that, the cat quietly walks away, leaving him behind. In the final part, we see hero Hamada asleep at home. But when he wakes up, something feels off. His robot Baymax hasn't returned. Realizing this, Hero immediately gets worried. He quickly informs his aunt Cass, and together they try to track Baymax using GPS. As soon as they locate his last known position, Cass shuts down her cafe without hesitation, and the two of them head out to find him. Their search begins with Kiko, the elderly woman Baymax helped earlier. When they tell her that Baymax is missing, she doesn't think twice and joins them. The group then tracks Baymax's recent activity and learns that he also helped Mida not long ago, so they head to Mbita's stall. When Mbita hears that Baymax is missing, he joins the team as well. Now all of them pile into Mbita's van and continue the search together. Following the trail, they arrive at Sophia's school and ask her if she knows anything. Even though she doesn't have any new information, she decides to join them too. At this point, everyone Baymax has helped is now united with one goal, finding him. Meanwhile, in a dark basement, factory workers begin their shift, unnoticed among them. Baymax lies motionless on the ground, his battery completely drained. Back outside, Hero and the others keep asking around if anyone has seen him. That's when Kiko spots the same cat Baymax treated earlier. Near the cat, they find one of the candies Baymax usually gives his patients. That clue confirms it. Baymax was last with this cat. They decide to follow it. The cat seems to understand and starts leading them. While most of the group follows in Mbata's van, Kiko surprisingly runs after the cat on foot, determined not to lose it. Soon they all arrive at the same basement where Baymax is located. But there's a problem. A security guard refuses to let them enter, so they come up with a plan. Mbata prepares a delicious dish, using its strong smell to distract the guards. While the guards are drawn toward the food, the rest of the group sneaks inside. Once inside, they find that the main entrance is locked, so they carefully enter through a side chamber and make their way into the factory. There, they finally find Baymax lying inactive. They quickly move to rescue him. At the same time, the factory workers begin heading back inside, creating a dangerous situation. Outside, Cass realizes what's happening and starts honking the van loudly to warn the others. Inside, the group notices that the workers are preparing to start a powerful electrical system, something that could be extremely dangerous. Just before the machine is activated, the cat suddenly appears on the ceiling. This distraction makes the workers stop the process, giving the group just enough time to escape. They successfully carry Baymax out and load him into Mida's van. Hiro immediately begins recharging him. After a few tense moments, Baymax powers back on. Everyone is relieved. In that moment, something truly special becomes clear. Every person Baymax helped along the way has now come together to save him. If you liked this story, check out the next one. Hiro upgrades Baymax into a powerful robot for revenge. It's wild, don't miss it, and hit subscribe.